Well, hopefully this works. Probably won't, but we'll see. So I made a Black Orc team for this because I thought why not. I've never played them before, but I know how they work, so it should be easy enough. Um, yeah, if there's a difference in team value, the teams get some different buffs and stuff. The team who has less value basically gets the credit value of difference given to them that they can spend on crap, I guess. I mean, I've barely got any. I'm just going to give myself some more cheerleaders so I can hopefully get a better kickoff event. But stuff like that is all in the rules. I don't really understand all that because the game just kind of does it for me. So we'll worry about that when we get to it. Well, I lost the toss up, so I guess they're kicking the ball. I've never done a starting setup for these guys. This is horrendous. Jesus Christ. I don't want any of what this game thinks I want on the line. No. I'm going to go for a quite aggressive setup with all my Black Orcs up front. And I'm going to run everybody else, goblins, around the side and whatever. I have 3 players on the bench because you have 11 players on the pitch and you can have up to 16 players on your team. So I've bought as many as I could, and I saved a little bit of money, which I spent on just increasing the fan factor for the team, because you get money at the end of a match depending on how many fans you had in attendance and how many touchdowns you've scored. So I thought I would set up appropriately. I haven't got an apothecary or anything like that, so hopefully nobody dies, but it'll probably be fine. Opponent goes to kick the ball. So we start off with it. If we come down here, you can see our little goblin here. This is a stupid. So you have movement allowed. If you look at his stats, we have I can bring it to the inspect thing. So you have movement allowance, which is how many squares they can move in a turn maximum. They can also rush 2 squares more than this, but you have to roll a d6 in order to make each of those rushes. So, and if they fail those rushes, they go down, which causes a turnover. You'll know as a trend, I'm going to say that quite a lot here. This is their strength. You'll see how strength works when somebody makes a block action, but you want a nice big number for this. You want a big number for this as well. Agility is the AG. This is how good they are at grabbing the ball, how good they are at taking the ball when someone passes it or throws it to them, and how good they are at dodging other players when they go past them. This is PA, passing. This is how good they are at chucking the ball to their team. Yeah, I mean, this is of those two are on D6. You want a nice low number for those, because obviously you want to get that value or better on a D6 to pass the test. So this guy's pretty good at dodging. He's okay at passing, but not great. And AV is armor value. So when they go down for any reason, because they're thrown on the floor by another player, or because they get because they fail a dodge check and they tackle, or they fail a rush or anything like that. They have the enemy rolls 2d6 compared to this armor value, and if they make that value or better, then the player takes an injury roll. Because this guy is a goblin, he's a stunty. He has right stuff, dodge, and thick skull. So he's a thick skull. So on an injury test, on an 8 or a 7, if you're you're stunned. Other results are unchanged. So basically, this just means he's less likely to actually be knocked out if he is thrown on the floor. He's more likely he'll just be stunned. So he'll have a turn where he can't do anything, but at least he's not going off the pitch. He is stunty, which makes sense because he's only little. He's a goblin, so he doesn't care about moving into tiles that are kind of already being marked by enemy players because he's quite small, so he's better at getting into those places. But he's also not as good at interfering with passes because when a player is standing next to enemy players, the enemy player trying to throw the ball, obviously, if you imagine, the people around them are obviously going to try to intercept the ball, but obviously if it's a little midget trying to jump, it's not going to make such a big deal. That's why you don't see basketball teams with short people, because they are of no value. So that is worth remembering. They have the right stuff, so they can be thrown by anyone who has the ability to throw people. In other words, for this team, the troll. And then they have dodge, which is a very good skill. So they can reroll those failed dodge chests if they try to move past someone. So they need a 3 to move through someone's tackle zone safely. They can re-roll it, which is nice. And if they're ever, if someone uses a block action on them, and the result of the block action roll is defender stumbles, it just turns into push. So rather than falling on the floor and taking the injury roll, they just move backwards instead. So that's quite nice. These guys are all right, but obviously they are strength 2, so they are going to get battered. But it's not such a big deal. You know, the heavy hitters of this team are not those guys anyway, because those are... Shit, that's camera on PlayStation. There we go. Is the Black Orcs, who are much more impressive and scary. So if we come on to the Black Orc, you can see he's only got a movement allowance of 4. They're pretty slow, these guys, because they're not a fast bunch, the Black Orcs, because these are big, muscular orcs. They're smarter than normal orcs, but they're heavier. They're slow individuals. They're not quick. They don't have a lot of pace on them. They are strength 4, though. Most people in this game are strength 3, so strength 2 is low, strength 4 is high. Big guys usually have strength 5. And snotlings and Noblar are the only things that are strength 1. Oh, and that stupid pig that the Vikings get for whatever reason. They have a pig. I don't know why they have a pig, but they have a pig. 4 up agility, so he's not great at dodging, but also he doesn't really care because he's probably just going to try and punch you in the face anyway. 5 up passing, which it sucks. You know, these guys are rubbish at handing the ball off to their team. I mean, to be fair, I can probably see for a Black Orc, they probably want to be the one to score, so they're not really interested in passing to their team, and they're not really particularly dexterous individuals. So, but they do have an armor value of 10, so every time they go down, the enemy has to roll a 10 or 11 or a 12 on 2d6 to actually cause them any injury, so that's quite good, because that's pretty challenging to achieve. So that's pretty good. They have Brawler and Grab. So with Brawler, whenever they make a block action, unless they blitzed, which we'll see later, they can re-roll a both down result. So they're more likely to be able to avoid knocking themselves down when they make a block, which is good because you don't want to go down if you make a block action, because if the player making the block action goes down, you get turnover, so you just go straight to the enemy's turn, which is never ideal. And then they also have Grab, so you can't use Sidestep against them, which is another perk you can have. And you get to choose what tile someone gets pushed into in the event that you push them for a block. They'll normally they just kind of fall back one of the tiles behind them, whereas with this you can actually move them into a different tile if you want. So that's nice, it's pretty good. Should be interesting enough. And then we also finally, as you can see, we got 6 black orcs, 4 goblins on the pitch, and then a troll. And I've got my 3 spare goblins. Here's the troll, the big boy, as you can see. I mean, black orcs are already quite big, and they're way smaller than the troll. So he's also only movement 4. He's not particularly quick. He is a troll. They're not known for being fast. He is straight 5, so he's very, very good at blocking people and difficult himself to be blocked, which is very useful for him. He does have a 5 up agility and 5 up passing. Don't expect this guy to dodge people. Just don't do that. Just have him punch them instead. He doesn't need to dodge people. He can just punch them in the face. And don't let him throw the ball, because he's not going to do it. He's going to fail it completely, and you're going to get a turnover. Also has a 10 up armor value. Normally big guys usually have a higher armor value than the rest of their team, but for Black Orc, because they all have like a 10 on the Black Orcs anyway, it's not really a difference. Whatever. He has Throw Teammate, really stupid, Mighty Blow, Loner 3 up, Always Hungry, Regeneration, and Projectile Vomit. That's lovely. So, let's have a look through. So he has Throw Teammate, so he can do a Throw Teammate action if somebody next to him has the right stuff. You'll note that the Black Orcs do not have the right stuff. Trolls do not have the physical ability to lift a orc above their head and yeet him across the pitch. Goblins, however, they do have the ability to throw. That's why he has this ability, and why those goblins have the ability to be thrown, because they want you to have the option to throw goblins at people. Which I might do this game. If I can get it to happen, I will. I don't know. Probably not, but we'll see. Really stupid. Yeah, so big guys all have a debuff like this, where it's difficult for them to activate. So on him, you have to roll a 4 or higher for him to actually do anything when you activate him. Otherwise, he'll just stand there and do nothing. But he gets a +2 to that roll if he's next to someone else. Because trolls are really thick, so they sometimes forget what they're doing. But if there's a teammate next to them, the teammate will shout at them and they'll be like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to kick this ball or punch this man in the face. So they'll do that. Mighty Blow, he gets a +1 when he's either to his armor roll or to his injury tests against enemies, depending on which is required. So that's quite nice. It makes him more likely to cause enemies to go and die, which is always useful. Loner 3 up, so most big guys have this, so it's to sort of prevent you wanting to use your team rerolls, because you only get a certain number of rerolls per team. So instead of so you don't use all of your rerolls on these guys, because obviously their turns are the most powerful, they have a chance to just consume your team reroll and not actually let you reroll the dice. So that's something worth noting as well. They have Always Hungry, so whenever these guys try and throw a teammate, there's a chance they might just eat their teammate instead. So yeah, not great. Not all of the big guys have this. Trolls do. It's not super optimal. I'm not a fan. I probably wouldn't use Throw Teammate for this very reason, because it's already not that easy to successfully throw a teammate, and then you end up killing them. So no. They have regeneration. That's a big thing about trolls in Warhammer Fantasy, is they're very, very quite good at regenerating from injuries. They do it all the time. So whenever these guys take a casualty, so if they're badly injured, seriously injured, or they would die, they have a 4-up chance to avoid that casualty, and they just go back to the reserves box completely safe, because I guess they get like their arm like ripped off or whatever, it just kind of grows back. Good for them. And then Projectile Vomit, so he can, instead of doing a block, he can vomit on someone, which has a chance to hurt them, instead of, him doing his regular, punching action. I think he can still punch normally, I don't know, we will see. Yeah, I think that's everything for now, so I'm gonna do my turn. So I'm not gonna go and grab that ball yet, because I don't want to risk a turnover. Skaven are playing quite passively on the line, because they obviously want to, they want me to come forward so they can envelop me with their gutter runners and stuff. But unfortunately for them, they're going to get pummeled here. So you get assists when you do block tests. So if you observe, when I do this, it comes up with marked on that Black Orc and on that Troll. That's because this Skaven here, this lineman, is marking these two players because they're in his tackle zone, so they're not able to provide an assist to this Black Orc making this attack. But because the Black Orc is strength 4 and the Skaven is strength 3, I get to roll 2 block dice, and I can choose which block dice I want to use for the block. So we'll push the button. Okay, that's a good roll. So this symbol is attacker down. I don't want these. These are bad. You never want this. This means that the person making the down falls on the floor, and obviously might take injury. Very bad, and it causes a turnover. This is the best result. This is POW. This means that you've successfully wounded the enemy, basically, and you can do this. So because he has grab, I can choose what tile to move the enemy into. Normally, this Skaven would only be able to go into this one or this one because of the direction he's being pushed from. It would be here, here, or here, but he can't go into this one because of his teammate. So it would be this one or this one. But I can actually grab him and move him into this tile here. And then the Black Orc can choose if he wants to move into the tile that the Skaven currently occupies, or if he wants to remain in his current tile. I actually want him to move forward, so I'm going to do this. He's going to knock the Skaven down. The Skaven rolled, what was it, like a 4 and a 1 on the on these armor save thing, though, whatever you want to call it. So the Skaven isn't injured or anything, but he is knocked prone. So that's a good start. It's not super useful. I would have preferred a down or a kill or something, but it's a good start. We're going to do the same here. We're going to have the second Black Orc make an attack, and he rolls attacker down twice. So I have no choice here but to take attacker down. Very unideal. He goes down, 2 and a 3. Nothing against his armor value of 10, but I get a turnover because of the because my player went down. So I don't get to do anything else. So we go straight to the Skaven's turn. So as I've said, it's very important, and you'll see throughout the match, that we don't allow the enemy to have 3 turns where we don't stop them doing anything, because if we do, you get a situation like this, where they run onto the ball for 3, and now I have to worry about them being flanked. The good news is that this little idiot here moved through the tackle zone of this orc, and he actually failed his agility test somehow. I don't know how he's done that, but he did, which caused him to go down. He didn't take any injury, but it did cause a turnover for the Skaven, which is quite good for me. Now, what you can do once per turn, if you note down the bottom, it has those things you can only do in once per turn, all the special actions, is you can have a player charge into combat. This is called a blitz, because normally you can only block a player that you're touching. If you move on your turn like this goblin, you'll see he can't then perform a blitz. He's not allowed to, because he's moved, so he's not eligible to do a block, this turn. He's not allowed to do it. This goblin will be the same. See, he's not able to attack, and if he wants to move, he'll have to make dodge tests, because he's within the tackle zone of those guys, but he doesn't get any penalty to that because he's only in the area of one of them, so he just gets the dodge on his 3. But this guy, if he wanted to dodge, I can't do it because I've ended his turn, but he would actually get a minus to that. He would be dodging on 4s because he's in the area of 2, so he gets a -1 to his dodge penalty because he's trying to dodge 2 people. So suboptimal. This I could move the troll, but then he would have to pass his 2 and then pass a 5-up dodge. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to try my best to get these guys out of the way so that the troll has the opportunity to try to blitz the gutter runner to stop him scoring that goal. Now, this is push, as you've seen, it just knocks them back. But this is both down, so both players would hit the deck. This can be acceptable if you've got a situation where you don't mind having a turnover. For me, though, it's not good. But because I have that brawler skill, I can re-roll that into a POW, which is much better. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to stay put, because I don't want to put too many on score just yet. We scored enough to cause an injury, and the AI chose not to use his apothecary, so that Skaven was KO'd, I believe. If we go over here, yeah, he is KO'd, so he's out for the rest of this turn. Well, not this turn, sorry, this round, shall we say, the first half of the match. And when we get to the second half, he will roll a dice to see if he woke up or if he stayed knocked out. KO'd isn't good, but it could be worse. It could be a serious injury, or it could be dead. So don't complain too much. Now, this guy isn't going to have to make dodge tests to get out anymore. So he's going to try it. Now, he does have to roll a 2-up in order to actually successfully do this, because he is really stupid. So let's see if he can manage it. Just about on a 2. It's close, but he's done it. But he fails his rush test and actually falls over because he's an idiot. So he rolled a 2 and then a 1, because of course I did. So he goes down, I fail the rush, and it causes a turnover. Hopefully this Skaven doesn't pass the dodge test. I'm sure he is going to pass when he runs past my 2 goblins in a minute. Probably going to be unfortunate, but had to give it a go. And that's a very early touchdown for the Skaven, because I had a very poor start with that very early player down. So you can see the potential problems of having players go down so early. Oh, we got an event from quick snap, so I'm allowed to move each of my players 1 square. Well, not each of my players, but some of them. So I'm going to go ahead and move those ones, and then honestly that'll probably do. I don't want to move that goblin any closer to where the orc is. I want the orc ahead because I really don't want them to kill that guy. Now this turn I really do need to actually have the ball, so this time I'm going to go for it. So 3 to pick up, so hopefully he rolls it. He does, he gets a 5. Okay, that's a good start. Much less shit start than last time. Right, the troll. No, we'll go for this. Yeah, we'll go for this black orc first. Gets a push. He's going to manhandle the teammate with enemy grab. This is going to throw him there. This guy is going to punch that Skaven in the face. Defender stumbles or both down. I will use Brawler to re-roll that. And I will take the POW, I think. Yep, we'll take the POW. We won't follow up though. We'll stay put. But he rolls a double 1, so definitely not in any danger there. Now, because finally I don't have any players marked, we're getting assists. So we're getting +2 strength. So the way that this has been working, just so we're clear, is if the strength is higher than the enemy, if the attacker strength is higher than the defender strength, the attacker gets to roll 2 dice and choose a result. If strength is twice the enemy strength, you roll 3 dice and you choose a result, and then vice versa. So if the defender is stronger than the attacker rolls 2 and the defender gets to pick one, and if the defender is twice as strong, then you have to roll 3 and the defender gets to choose which of the 3 dice you get to use. So it's very bad attacking into people who are stronger than you, because you have a great chance that you're going to roll a player down and the enemy is going to pick the player down and you're going to fall on your ass and die. So that's always something to note. So Troll is strength 5, Skaven strength 3. You get +1 strength for each non-marked player that you're in that can help you attack that guy. So +1, which takes him to 7 for the purposes of this. 7 is more than twice 3. The Skaven has no backup, so his strength isn't being increased at all. So as long as the troll doesn't roll a 2... Okay, so the troll rolled a 2. Thanks, troll, you fucking idiot. Oh well, we bought. Guess the Black Orc's going for it instead. Black Orc will just push that guy, and he will not follow up. His teammate here is going to move here to provide support to this other orc. The goblin is going to move around the back to help get some players marked. No, we'll go for this one, I think. Yeah, we'll go for this one. I'm going to try and punch a hole in the line. We'll go for player stumbles. Player stumbles is basically POW unless the enemy has dodge, because it will still cause the same fall onto the floor and armor value, armor roll. But if they have dodge, it just acts as push. But otherwise, defender stumbles is basically POW, so you have a 2 in 6 chance of getting POW essentially on the dice. So not bad at all. Because he blitzed, he's also still able to move in the same turn. But because he only has a 4-up dodge, risky, but I wanted to do it because I want to get around the rear of the Skaven so I can inbox them, so that hopefully this Goblin has a pretty free run. I'm going to move this Goblin into a bit of a phalanx position to help out. This Goblin is going to head over as well to help work towards the escort position. And then, because I already used my rush, probably should have saved my rush so I could rush over here, but it's not a big deal. This Black Orc will just move into position. These two are strength 3, so if they block against him, they are going to get a +1. But because he has straight 4 anyway, they'll still only be rolling 1 dice, because he has the increased strength advantage. So hopefully that will keep him in the running. Gonna try my best. Skaven went for the dodge, and Skaven went on the floor. So that's good. Obviously they're trying to collapse onto the ball. I really need this guy out of the way, so this Black Orc is going to go for a blitz. POW, that's very nice, we'll just take that. No actual injury, regrettably. So we could try to foul him, but on a 7 with a chance to get this guy sent off and then have a turnover, I'm not going to do it. But you can attempt to foul players who are down. I'm sure I'll do one at some point in this game. If I don't, then remind me and I'll explain it anyway, but it should be fine. But I don't want to risk having a player sent off for that, so for the moment, not going to do it. The Troll is going to join the Phalanx as well, help support his little friend. This Black Orc is going to punch this idiot in the face. Very useful, he's just going to move forward as well. This one will do the same. That Goblin will also join the Phalanx on our friend. This guy's going to stay still because I don't need him to do anything. I see that. What's the chance of putting that guy out of action? 9? Yeah, it's not worth it. As you'll note, I'm trying not to use my Goblins to attack because they're strength 2. So it's really not ideal for them to be fighting this Skaven because the Skaven are mostly strength 2. So even with an assist, the Goblins only get to strength 3, so they'll only be rolling 1 dice. And I feel, obviously I haven't played Black Orcs properly before, but I feel like as a Black Orc player, or as a Black Orc team, you really want to just use your Black Orcs to fight. You really just want the Goblins getting in the way, providing assists and moving the ball around. Obviously different teams will have different ways to play and stuff, but I feel like that seems to be the basic concept for a Black Orc from when I was reading their abilities and stuff earlier. I get the sensation that they want me to have the Orcs punch people and the Goblins carry a ball around. That guy is an idiot. The Skaven are having a bit of a stinker in the middle. They're all just trying to make dodges that are probably not very good. AI is sometimes smart, sometimes less so. I mean, yeah. Defender stumbles, that will do just nicely. Keep not getting any real injuries or anything on them, which is a slight shame, but what can you do? This guy is going to move here because I need to get the +2 on the ogre so he can pass. He's really stupid because trying to pass it on a 4 is not likely, seeing as I can barely pass it on a 2 half the time. Going for more bushes. Now, normally, obviously, this would be great for these guys because they would be providing the assist, but obviously this guy here is being marked because, if you look, this player he's in the tackle zone, so even though he would like to provide an assist, he can't, because if he was to turn around and try to provide an assist, this Black Orc would probably grab him and slam him in the teeth. So, no luck for him. We get a stun as well. Oh yeah, and this guy got seriously injured earlier, didn't he? Because he had a... sorry, is his name Gay Prophet? It was Grey Prophet, I was going to say. I was like, what the fuck? Gay? Don't need to do any heroics here, so we won't bother. This goblin will try to get the 3-up dodge. Easy peasy. He can reroll it anyway, so I knew he would probably have been fine. And then this Black Orc here, I'm not super worried about that Skaven in behind, so he's just going to move back towards the center line as well. But I would actually like him to come forward, so he's going to try to rush, and he's going to roll a 1. So that's good. Rushing on a 2, by the way, and all he had to do was not roll a 1. So of course he rolled a 1, because I'm me. And I'm good at rolling 1s. It's okay, because that Skaven did it as well. And he actually got injured from it, because he's an idiot, so thanks, bozo. And I think I have just enough movement on the goblin to get him across the line. I'm not going to risk doing anything else first, I'm just going to go for the goal. Bringing us to 1-1. That's much better. Oh yeah, I haven't played this side yet, so I've got some horrendous formation. I'm honestly quite happy to have basically the same formation I had earlier on. Thank you very much. Obviously, formation is very much up to you. You know, I'm just doing what I feel comfortable with the team I haven't played too much. I'm sure there's better formations available for Black Orc. I just like a nice aggressive. I've got to kick the ball this time because I'm the one who scored. We're going to put it right there. I'm allowed to reposition some defenders thanks to solid defense. I'm actually okay with my position, so I'm not going to make any changes. So I don't think it's really necessary. There are only their turn 6, then my turn 7, their turn 7, my turn 8, and their turn 8 left in the first half. But because of how quick the Skaven are, that's absolutely enough time for them to score. So I still got to be careful here, because they could very easily get straight down my left wing. Just run it all the way down and pop it over the line. So I've got to make sure I really do my best on the scrimmage line, and I've probably got to make sure that I cover my orcs on this side. get into position. Because who has the ball? It's the gutter runner, right? Yeah, it was a movement of 9, which is fucking evil. Jesus, 9. I guess it is a very quick Skaven, but that's disgusting. Right, we'll slap that guy in the face. Very nice. Smack this guy in the face as well. I usually follow up, but you don't have to. It depends on whether you want to take the space that you're moving them from, or if you actually don't want to take the space because you're trying to make a lane to push through or something. You know, that's very much up to you, isn't it, really? I am going to try to slam the gutter runner here to death. Unfortunately, I only rolled 3 push. That's pretty disappointing. But obviously the good news is he can still move because of his blitz, so he'll move back into position here. I'm going to move the goblin here, so this creates a nice little tackle zone here. Obviously there is a gap, but I will try and fix that gap as quickly as I can. That orc's going to fold over slightly because I don't need him so far out. Obviously the guy runner could run over this way, but I still have 2 goblins at the back who can hopefully at least block enough time for the black orc. The good news is if he wastes one of his turns running over to here, 9 movement isn't enough to get all the way up the pitch. So they need to run it in a straight line, pretty much. Which they shouldn't be able to do, hopefully. We'll see. I would have liked something better than that, but okay. Skaven gets away with it, and final black orc. Also just gets a push. Okay, that guy got pushed back twice. That was... Huh? What do you do twice? That was weird. I don't know what that was all about. That might be a bug or something, I don't know. Or there's an ability I'm not thinking of. Oh no, he's showing up weird because he is being shown on that thing after his model glitch. I don't know. Whatever. Comes through the guy around, zooming on, like I said. I knew they were probably going to get through, but I had to do my best. One of the Skaven did go down though, which is very promising. This goblin here, just move around to help block. This goblin is going to do the same. This goblin is going to do the same as well. And then this black orc is going to move here to support. This black orc is going to move here to support. Move that guy out of the way, and then with all the assists and everything. Now, I'm probably going to go both down here, just because I really need him to drop that ball, and being pushed isn't going to be enough. So I do get a KO from that, but I don't care. The important thing really is that they drop the ball. His movement will be halved because he's been knocked over, and he'd have to dodge a lot. This guy can't go anywhere without a massive penalty to his dodge because he's got 4 players around him. It's very difficult to get out of that. And I don't think any of the other Skaven here have enough movement to actually get in, so that should have secured me at least the first half as a draw. So I would prefer some better score than that, but it could be a lot worse. I'm not too pissed at that. Eventually one of them throws their dodge because they have to, and that's the turn over. So we go to the next half. I have to kick the ball again because they started last half. This turn I get to do a blitz for free at the start of my turn, which is super good. So he's going to move. So's this one. Lovely. I would have preferred an injury on him, but could be worse. Yeah, these gutter runners are real bloody annoying. I don't know if you were going to play part-time. You said you weren't going to play skating. One of your core things you'll see is the gutter runners, because they do 9. Yeah, shit, I've got a serious injury over here. That's unfortunate. It's not on the goblin, I assume that was on that goblin. Yeah, it is. Oh well, it's not ideal, but there you are. What can you do? No injury there. But we go. I'm going to move along the line of scrimmage and try and put as many of them out as I can now. Decent turn. I didn't get any proper knockouts or anything on the line, but I did get 2 stuns and a bunch of prones, so at least I am putting some good pressure on the line of scrimmage. I've moved them down quite a lot, which is nice. That guy runner is going to grab the ball and probably go for quite a mighty run around the left-hand side. I've left it very exposed. Not ideal, but there we go. These guys are failing all their dodges. They use some of their team rerolls. That one didn't work, so that's a good start. It's actually very good for us. Fuck. That's very, very bad indeed. They're going to go and score now. Bastard. That's the second time I've really needed anything other than 2 attacker downs, and I've rolled 2 attacker downs. That's very bad indeed, because that guy runner is just going to sprint halfway down the pitch by himself now. That's not good. It's actually practically not good, but there we are. Well, we're putting some pressure on the ball, but not enough to really make a lot of difference here. I have a feeling they're going to score. But what I will do is, rather than focusing too much on that, because Black Orc are not fast enough to fall back, so there's nothing I can really do about it, I'm just going to keep pummeling their scrimmage line, because the more players I can take out, the better chance I have of winning the next half, maybe. Okay, that's the worst, but it's fine. Would have preferred to fucking kill the enemy, but there you go. Oh, lovely. That guy's off the pitch with a broken arm. That's good news for me. This goblin isn't going to make it in time, but he's going to try and move to intercept, just in case. This Black Orc is just going to move forward to keep those two marked. And hopefully this gutter runner falls over, but on a 2-up agility, he's only going to be dodging one person, so yeah, pretty free for them. Fuck's sake. Yeah, I miscalculated. I moved a little bit too much off that left-hand side, but then I also had a stinker and rolled double attacker down again. Which is pretty stinky, but there we are. Still got enough turns to equalise though. Still got a good number of turns left actually, so hopefully it's not too big of a deal. I'm going to try and get the ball over here. I'm going to use my only reroll that I had left to grab the ball. That's it. I can't reroll any other dice this turn, I believe. But at least, well, this game, but at least I've got the fucking ball. So it could be worse. I'm going to get a blitz on that guy. This goblin is going to move here. And that goblin will move over as well, so he can join the phalanx in a bit. Good news is at least they did have 2 players go down. So they're in a little bit of a weak position. That goblin is going to move around, try and distract them, hopefully. Maybe pull some of them away from where they need to be. And then line of scrimmage, they've only left 3 racks on the line of scrimmage, so... if I don't kill, or at least knock out a couple of these, this is going to be fucking bollocks, but there you are. To open me fucking gob, don't I? Of course I'm not going to knock any of them out. Black Orc's going to move to defend. And the troll is going to try and foul this guy. No, Sirrah, but it wasn't a double, so at least he's not getting sent off the pitch. If you roll a double when you try and foul someone, you get a red card. So obviously you lose the player for the half. And it causes a turnover, so fouls are very risky. Oh good, so they are taking the bait and going for the goblin on the side. Half of them are moving into position as well to try to take the ball. They have defender stumbles on him, but the good news is he has dodge, which means defender stumbles is treated as push instead of pow, like it is for most people, because normally it causes you to go over and take an injury or whatever. But on a goblin, because he has that little de-skill, he's okay. Dodges the attack. I'm locked into an annoying thing because for some reason the camera in this game is bad. But basically, what this is, you can't see it, but trust me. A weaker person is attacking a stronger person, so I'm getting to choose which result I want them to have taken. Yeah, it's okay with punching a Black Orc. Same over here. They're doing the same. I can choose between the both down or the attacker down. I'm obviously going to put the attacker down because it means that he goes on the floor and he goes out, gets KO'd, and I get a turnover. So all of that was very nice for me. I need to get this Skaven gone because he is causing a problem. Push really isn't good enough. I need to be getting some kills, but what can you do? At least it gets the guy away from the ball. The goblin is going to move this way because I don't really want to go towards this big group. Ideally, I'd actually like to just move as a big phalanx towards the ball together. I'm going to try the rush. He's definitely going to fell these, but there we are. Okay, he didn't. That's a fucking surprise. I'm genuinely amazed. Pass is really stupid. That would be a terrible push because obviously he's weaker. That Black Orc's going to move around to help out his mate as well. And then this Black Orc is going to try and foul this guy. He's getting an assist, so on a 7, we will do what we need to. It's a serious injury. A 4 and a 9. He should. Well, I'm not sure why a 4 and a 9's. Oh, because the Skaven have normally a 4 and a 9 would be safe, but the Skaven have the ability to help to bribe the ref more because they're assholes is one of their special things. So they've used their special ability to cause the foul to go off. I'm going to try and argue the call. So on a 1. I can not argue the call again, and I get a -1 modifier for it happening. On a 2 to a 5, he's sent off, and I get a turnover. But on a 6, there will be a turnover, but he won't get sent off. He's definitely getting sent off. Yeah, of course. I probably rolled like a 2 or something. Well, unfortunate to lose the player, but I did. The good news is I did put a Skaven out with a serious injury, at least. The worst case, obviously, is when you foul someone, they don't even go down. And you get a red card, so you lose a player and they don't even lose theirs. So that can be, as they refer to in the hood, as suboptimal. I would really like to not have a player down here, but there we are. I did get another KO though. I did get another KO. And it's not like the ball is defenseless, it is still flanked, it's still trying to move up. The good news is the Skaven do keep making silly dodges, so there is that. Now, because the Goblin doesn't really have enough turns here, like, because he's not going to be able to move far enough to score, and I need him to, what I'm going to try and do is he's going to move to this Goblin, and then he's going to perform a handoff. So he's going to move to there, as you can see next to the square, and then he's going to try to pass the ball to the other Goblin. The other Goblin has to make an agility test of 3+. This is risky, but if I don't do it, I'm not going to score and I'm going to lose. So I need to do this in order to equalize. This is the best shot I have to score an equalizer. So we're gonna see if it goes off. Unfortunately, he rolled a 2, so the ball ends up on the floor right there. The orc also failed his catch when the ball bounced off the hands of the goblins, and the Skaven grabbed the ball. This does mean I've lost the match, regrettably, but you know, that's just one of those times you have to take risk, and if it fails, you're done. That's kind of how Blood Bowl goes, in my experience in playing this game quite a lot. Over the past week, that's kind of que sera, que sera. There's not a lot you can really do about it. It just sort of is how it works. So just gotta kind of accept it, really. Still had fun. I'm sure this was still a... I hope at least this was a relatively educational experience. Yeah, I know, this is the last 5 minutes of the recording. You don't need to tell me, you stupid game. I am aware. It's alright, PlayStation. We're nearly done anyway. It's fine. Yeah, I mean, that's it. I can't really do anything else to win this match anyway now, so... end the game there, because I can't score from there. Yeah, it was a good attempt for me, but unfortunately those two player downs I had on the middle of the board both caused me a to get battered. So big shame there. But yeah, hopefully that was useful enough. Please ask questions and engage. Thank you, guys. That would be great.